The clink of champagne glasses rang out over the dining table, and my mother smiled at my sister like she'd just crowned her queen of the universe. "Real families have kids," she said loudly, eyes sliding to me. Everyone laughed. I didn't. And that was when my husband gently took my hand, stood up, and said something that made the entire room go dead silent. You won't believe what he exposed next. But to understand how I ended up sitting there, humiliated at my own mother's table, let me take you back. If you'd met my family 10 years ago, you would have clocked it instantly. My sister, Lila, was the golden child. Pretty, loud, emotional in a way people found charming instead of exhausting. And me? I was the easy one, the quiet one, the one who didn't need much. At least, that's what my mom always said. "She's fine," Mom would tell relatives, waving a hand at me. "Lila needs more support." Support meant money, attention, praise. I got expectations. I was expected to understand when my college fund temporarily went to help Lila through a rough patch. Expected to smile when Mom skipped my graduation dinner because Lila was having a moment. Expected to not make things awkward. And I didn't, for years. Tell me, have you ever been the one everyone assumes will just take it? When I married Ethan, I thought things might change. He was calm, observant, the kind of man who noticed things others missed. At first, my family loved him. He didn't challenge them. He listened, he smiled. But what they didn't know was that Ethan remembered everything, and that mattered more than any of us realized. The first real crack showed up at Sunday dinner one night, about 3 years into our marriage. "So," my mom said, cutting into her chicken, "when are you two finally going to give me a grandbaby?" I froze. Ethan's fork paused midair. "We're happy as we are," I said carefully. Mom laughed. "That's what people say when they're selfish." The table went quiet. Lila smirked. "Some people just aren't maternal." That's when I realized something was seriously wrong. Not just rude comments, not just favoritism. This was a narrative, and I was losing control of it. Ethan squeezed my knee under the table. I thought he was telling me to let it go. I was wrong. Over the next year, the pressure escalated. Every holiday, every birthday, every phone call. "You're not getting any younger. Ethan deserves a real family. Do you even want to be a wife?" And then came the night that changed everything. It was my mom's 65th birthday. Big dinner, extended family, friends from church. Lila arrived late, glowing, dramatic as always. She didn't even sit down before announcing it. "I'm pregnant." The room exploded. Screams, tears, hugs, champagne popped. My mom cried openly, clutching Lila like she'd just won the lottery. I sat there, hands folded, smiling politely while my chest tightened. That's when Mom stood up with her glass. "To Lila," she said, "for giving us what really matters. Proof that real families have kids." Her eyes flicked to me again. Not subtle, never subtle. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? I felt small, exposed, like everyone suddenly understood their role in a story where I was the disappointment. That's when Ethan stood. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't sound angry. He just took my hand. "There's something you should all know," he said. The fork froze halfway to my cousin's mouth. My mom frowned. "Ethan, now's not?" "Actually," he said gently, "now is exactly the time." You could feel it, like the air had thickened. He turned to Lila. "Congratulations on the pregnancy." She beamed. "But I think everyone deserves the full truth." My heart started pounding. I hadn't told him to do this. I didn't even know what he meant. Lila laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" Ethan reached into his jacket and pulled out a folder. My mother's smile faltered. "This," he said, setting it on the table, "is the trust documentation from Grandma Rose's estate." The room went dead silent. You see, Grandma Rose had passed away 2 years ago. My mom told everyone the inheritance was modest, split evenly, nothing special. I'd never questioned it, until Ethan did. He continued, calm as ever. The house, the savings, the investments, they weren't split. My mom stood abruptly. "This is inappropriate." "No," Ethan said. "What's inappropriate is lying to your own daughter." He opened the folder. "Grandma left everything to my wife." You could hear someone gasp. Lila's face strained his color. "That's not true." "It is," Ethan replied. "Sole beneficiary, with one condition." My throat felt dry. I looked at him, stunned. He turned to me. You didn't tell them because you were taught your whole life not to make waves. He looked back at the table. The condition was that the money could only be accessed if she chose to. No pressure, no coercion. My mom's hands trembled. You don't understand. Oh, I do, Ethan said. You've been pressuring her to give money to Lila for years. Lila snapped. That's not why I'm pregnant. Ethan didn't even flinch. No, he said. You're pregnant because you thought announcing it would lock you in. The room erupted. What does that mean? Someone asked. Ethan sighed. It means Lila applied for a loan using projected inheritance income. Income she doesn't have. My mom's mouth opened, closed. And, Ethan added softly, the pregnancy timeline doesn't match the medical records you submitted. Lila stood up, chair scraping loudly. You had no right. I had every right, Ethan said. You used my wife's name. That's when it hit me. The secret wasn't just the inheritance. It was that I had power, and they'd been using it without my consent. My mom burst into tears. I was just trying to help your sister. By humiliating me? I asked quietly. Everyone turned to me. I stood, legs shaking, but my voice was steady. I knew about the inheritance, I said. I chose not to touch it. Lila stared at me like she'd never seen me before. I chose peace, I continued, and you mistook that for weakness. The silence was unbearable. Then Ethan did something no one expected. He smiled. And one more thing, he said. We're not childless. My mom's head snapped up. What? He squeezed my hand. We're expecting. Gasps, whispers. I felt tears sting my eyes. We didn't tell anyone, Ethan said, because we wanted joy, not judgment. My mother sank back into her chair. That night ended early. Very early. Within a month, the loan was denied. The false documents were flagged, and the narrative shifted. People stopped calling me selfish. They started calling me smart. I moved the inheritance into a protected account, helped when I wanted to, not when I was guilted. And for the first time in my life, my family had to look at me differently, not as the easy one, but as the one who chose herself. So tell me, would you have stayed quiet? Or would you have done exactly what we did? Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is finally let the truth speak for you.